Welcome back to the final time here at the Verizon Center in Washington, D.C. Jimmy Cook alongside my partner, Kennington Smith. Team USA able to pick up a huge victory after being down, at one point being outscored 20-17 by the Brazilians last night. Kennington, in a game that was pretty much dominated by the king himself, LeBron James, 30.6 rebounds, 4 steals. Do you feel like this is the Kings team?
Definitely. He definitely picked up where he left off in the NBA Finals. In 2008, we saw this was more Kobe's team. He was the alpha male. Now we see that LeBron has taken over that position as leader of the team. But if the U.S. is going to win the gold this year, people like Kobe Bryant, he only shot 3 of 11. Carmelo Anthony only shot 1 of 7. Those guys are going to have to step up.
Another thing you also want to look at, Kennington, going forward, Team USA only shooting 1 for 6 at the halfway point from three-point range last night. And then as the game went on, only 6 for 24 with the deep ball. They need to work on the three-point shooting and perimeter shooting to be able to ensure a repeat gold medal in the 2012 games.
Well, definitely. A problem with the U.S., the 12-man team, 9 wing players you have. Tyson Chandler, the only true center on the team. That's going to be a problem when you play a world power like Spain. They have the Gasol brothers. They have Serge Ibaka, big post players to get Tyson Chandler in foul trouble. So you're going to work on their post game as well as the three-point shooting.
Team USA picks up the victory here tonight, 80-69, moving to 2-0 in exhibition play thus far. We'll see you back here on Thursday night, where Team USA will be up against Great Britain, their third of 5 exhibition games before the Olympics start up. That's right, the Olympics July 11th through July 25th through August 12th on your NBC family of networks. For my partner Kennington Smith, I'm Jimmy Cook. We'll see you Thursday night. Sports Broadcasting Camp in Atlanta. This is SportsCenter. I'm Jimmy Cook alongside my partner Kennington Smith here at today's top stories. The National League defeated the American League 8-0 in the 83rd annual All-Star Game in Kansas City last week. This marks the 3rd straight victory for the NL and will ensure the National League team will have home field advantage in the World Series. Giants outfielder Melky Cabrera was named Game MVP after going 2 for 3 with a 2-run home run.
Continuing with baseball, the Atlanta Braves will conclude their 6-game homestand with a 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants starting Tuesday night at Turner Field. The Braves are currently in 2nd place in National League East and are trying to catch the red-hot Washington Nationals. Meanwhile, the Giants are battling the Dodgers for the top spot in the National League West.
In the world of football, the Atlanta Falcons have agreed to terms with safety Chris Hope, who has started over 100 games in his NFL career with the Steelers and Titans. Hope was named to the Pro Bowl all the way back in 2008 after leading Tennessee with 4 interceptions.
And finally, the Atlanta Hawks have reached an agreement with shooting guard Lou Williams on a multi-year deal. Williams, an Atlanta native, led the Philadelphia 76ers in scoring last season, averaging 15 points per game. That'll wrap it up for SportsCenter. For my partner Jimmy Cook, I'm Kennington Smith. Good night.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. I'm Jimmy Cook along with my partner Kennington Smith. In today's episode, the Knicks go winless, Yankees continue dominance, and how the AFC West will be won. But first, effective last night, the New York Knicks chose not to match the 3-year, $25.1 million offer sheet given to Jeremy Lin by the Houston Rockets last week, turning away not only a rising star, but a cultural phenomenon and a market-making, money-making machine for the NBA. Was this the right decision by the New York Knicks, Kennington?
This was not the right decision by the New York Knicks. Jeremy Lin is not an all-star. He's not a great player. He's a solid player, a good point guard. Most people admit that 50% of his game is what he can do for you in merchandise. The other 50% is how he actually plays. The Knicks are a global team. They could take Jeremy Lin to a global market him to the Asian community, really get the Asian community behind the New York Knicks. It's a $25 million deal, but they could make that back in revenue just from what they could get out of Jeremy.
The issue I have, though, with the luxury tax coming into play in the next 2 years, look at the Knicks payroll. They're going to have to be paying $75 million if you would have added Lin into the mix with Chandler and Stoudemire and Melo's contracts as well. When you add all those together, it wasn't worth the risk for the Knicks to take in the long run. And it's a great pickup for the Rockets in the sense that the Knicks realized they didn't need to take the financial risk for Lin, and I think they were right in letting him go.
It was good for the Rockets because they had Yao Ming. They're already global because they had Yao, so now Jeremy Lin just stepped into that role. But as for the Knicks, it's only a 3-year deal. So if you don't get what you want out of them 2 years, trade them to a contender or a non-competing team. That's an expiring contract. Get off the books. So I think the Knicks should have kept him. Could be asset.
In the world of baseball, after a 6-1 win last night in CC Sabathia's return, The Yankees now have a 9.5 game lead in the AL East. Now it's only July, but will the Yankees still be on top of that division by the time postseason rolls around?
Honestly, I don't know. The AL East is such a tough division. You never can count out the Red Sox. The Red Sox have struggled this year, but Carl Crawford's coming back. Jacoby Ellsbury's coming back. They're finally getting healthy. They're starting to turn the corner. The Orioles have really come on this year. They're in there. Matt Wieters is a rising star. Is going to be one of the best catchers in the game for a long time. You have the Tampa Bay Rays. They've been one of the best for 5 years now. You've never counted them out. It's only July. We've seen teams collapse in the AL East before. I don't think the Yankees will be any different.
Finally, how the AFC West will be won. Peyton Manning joining the Denver Broncos in this past offseason. Do you think that is enough for the Broncos to win 2 straight division titles?
It is enough. They won with Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is the worst passing quarterback in the league. They won with this spread option for the Pony Express kind of offense. Now you put in Peyton Manning, one of the best to ever do it, still a top 5 quarterback in the league. The Broncos will repeat.
I wouldn't be surprised if Denver pulled it out. However, I also wouldn't be surprised if a team like the Chiefs or the Chargers on top at the end of the
Denver's got a young defense, underrated receiving core with Peyton Manning. I think they'll do it. That's all for today. With Jimmy Cook, I'm Kennington Smith. Same time tomorrow, knuckleheads.
Good night, Canada.
Thanks, Chris. I'm live from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania in front of the Eagles training camp facility. What was a dream summer turned into a nightmare season for the Eagles. After key free agent acquisitions like Nnamdi Asomugha and Jason Babbitt, many expected the Eagles to compete for a Super Bowl this year. But coaching troubles, contract disputes, and injuries plagued their season to an 8-8 disappointing record. Now, we come to this year with a key draft, key adjustments, and a new sense of urgency. The Eagles are looking to take off and make this a season to remember. Reporting live from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, I'm Kennington Smith, ESPN. For ESPN, I'm Kennington Smith from Whitehall at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. And whenever I think of Cam Newton, Reggie Bush, and the Ohio State Buckeyes football program, it always brings me back to how college athletes deserve to be paid. I mean, come on. When you consider the NCAA makes $11.3 billion from March Madness and the BCS, how can these athletes not get a small piece of the pie? Now, I only think that revenue-making sports deserve to be paid. Men's basketball and football on a lot of campuses. No, that's not fair. It's capitalism. Nick Saban makes over $6 million a year, but the most distinguished professor at Alabama won't make that in his tenure. So don't tell me it's not fair for A.J. McCarron to get paid and not the soccer player who's a sociology major. Jalen Rose of the Fab Five said it best. In today's age, college athletes aren't just student athletes anymore. They're semi-professionals. They are employees to their colleges and their conferences, and the fact that they're not getting paid does not only violate common decency, but maybe the law. The NCAA should do the right thing and pay college athletes. Live from Emory University, I'm Kennington Smith, ESPN.